This is the network service of the NTA.
There is one man who has shown the capacity to patronize all, including where he did not win election. It is President Muhammadu Buhari.
National chairman of governing party confers with the president, assures Nigerians of good governance.
We have adequate medical facilities in this country.
Kaduna court fixes August date for ruling in bail application for leader of the proscribed Islamic movement in Nigeria.
The body is not on us to prove the petitioner's case for them.
Closes its case at presidential election court. And more ministerial nominees go through the Senate screening. Good evening, this is the Network News. I am Muhammad Kudu Abubakar. Thank you for joining me. Michael Olaleye will be reading from Lagos, and Naomi Abuaku is in Maiduguri. Let's begin from the villa, where the national chairman of the APC, Adams Oshomole, has expressed absolute confidence in the ability of the ministerial nominees now being screened by the National Assembly to successfully drive the next level agenda for a greater Nigeria. Speaking to State House correspondents after an audience with the president, Mr. Oshomole assured Nigerians of value addition to governance in the country.
If there is one man who has shown the capacity to patronize all, including where he did not win election, it is President Muhammadu Buhari. Otherwise, where we get less than 5%, I saw 2 ministers coming from that state, in spite of the fact that he got less than 5% there. That speaks volumes about a large heart, the heart to accommodate, to appreciate, and to have an all-inclusive government. I'm very optimistic that these ministers come in, all of us working together, the party, the executive, which the ministers belong, and the National Assembly, in which we have overwhelming majority, we have what it takes to take Nigeria to the next level. And the next level, we are going there.
The APC national chairman also appreciated President Buhari for continuously providing leadership in galvanizing action for national development, as demonstrated during the last presidential policy retreat to chart a course for the country.
The first time we have a president who sat for 10 hours each day, listening to presentation, listening to debate, and even himself contributing. That for me was something I was very happy about. That our party has moved from being a rally where people just do election and go home, to one that after doing election and we have been sworn in, the Senate has been inaugurated, Rep inaugurated, we now sit down, the party, the executive, the legislature, to say, going to the next level, what are the policy issues? How do we deliver to Nigeria people? That is what those 2 days was about. And for me, I came to thank him for providing leadership for that exercise.
APC National Chairman Adams Oshomole. The High Court sitting in Kaduna, presided over by Justice Darius Kobo, has received documents for and against the release of the leader of the proscribed Islamic movement in Nigeria, Sheikh Ibrahim El-Zakzaky, to seek medical attention abroad. Abdullahi Mohammed reports the ruling on the matter is set for the 5th of August.
Counsel to Sheikh Ibrahim El-Zakzaky had 10 days earlier approached the High Court sitting in Kaduna here, demanding that the Sheikh be released for medical attention abroad. And then the argument today continued with the counsel to the state submitting document proving that the Sheikh can stay in Nigeria and be treated.
We have adequate medical facilities in this country.
Doctors are all united in emphasizing the need for them to seek urgent medical attention.
Now all the documents submitted to the court here will be reviewed by the Justice Kobo, and by the 5th of August we will be expecting a final judgment to be passed whether to release Sheikh Ibrahim El-Zakzaky to seek medical attention abroad or not. In Kaduna, Abdullah Muhammad, NT News.
Still on security matters, Nigeria has urged the federal government to provide more Earth observation satellites to aid national security and socio-economic development. National Chairman of the Institute, Sadiq Omar, made the appeal at its 3rd annual lecture held in honor of the pioneer chairman, Brigadier General Michael Agu. Justin Bem reports that the lecture was on remote sensing technology and national security.
Nigeria, like any other country, has been in top checks on different fronts to ensure her security challenges are taken care of. But security experts are of the view that if the country leverages on satellite technology, more could be achieved. They have pointed out that available Earth observation satellites right now for the country are not sufficient in providing data for national security and economic development, as they are mainly for communication and provision of bandwidth data, but not remote sensing data.
Where we want to be is for us to have more satellites. If you remember, Nigerian Sat2 and Sat-X, designed, built, in Sore, was launched in 2011. The lifespan of a satellite may be 10 years maximum. You should be thinking of having replacement.
Nigeria was ready about 20 years ago. Unfortunately, we are not making use of the technology.
So the nature of the quality of output from our primary school level, secondary schools, they are affecting the space program. It's not accelerating the way it should be.
Nigeria having the human capacity and expertise to develop the industry, the experts are saying with this advanced technology, the country will not only address security threats, but also food insecurity, flood, pipeline vandalism, among other challenges, if properly harnessed.
In our own environment too, within the military, we have the knowledge, we have the human resource, but the challenge is the technology, the hardware.
The 3rd Brigadier General Michael Agu Annual Distinguished Lecture also featured conferment of the Nigerian Institution of Space Engineers Fellowship Awards to some persons. In Abuja, Justin Bem, NTA News.
Nigeria and Ghana Navy are working towards strengthening relationship in tackling security challenges along the maritime borders. This was made known at the inaugural International Maritime Defense Exhibition and Conference in Accra, Ghana. Dr. Oguyemi reports.
Delivering a paper titled Highlights of the Nigerian Navy Operations and Projections for Advancing Information Sharing Towards Overcoming Criminality at Sea, Vice Admiral Ibok Eteibas says regional cooperation is key to maritime security.
Group A, or Zone A, which consists of Nigeria, Togo, and Benin, the MOU is already subsisting. And so for the Zone F, which is not yet operationalized, that consists of Ghana, Cote d'Ivoire, Sierra Leone, and then Liberia. So that's what is to the MOU that is to be signed, that will enable joint patrols and, of the maritime domain.
The Nigerian Army Special Forces Command also availed itself the opportunity to learn new skills for its operations. The Navy Chief also stated that there has been a 50% reduction in the activities of pirates and other maritime crimes, attesting to the successes of Operation River Sweep, leading to massive savings in pipeline losses between 2015 and 2018. From Accra, Ghana, Dotun Ukmiyemi, NTA News.
In other stories, the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, has closed its case at the Presidential Election Petition Court. The nation's electoral umpire said it was closing its case without calling any witnesses. Judiciary correspondent Femi Okewo reports.
This has come as a surprise move to observers of the proceedings at the Presidential Election Petition Tribunal. that the first respondent in PDP's petition against the 2019 presidential election does not wish to call any witnesses. INEC says it intends to rest its case on the cross-examination of the petitioner's witnesses. And the counsel to INEC said that this is sufficient to puncture the case of the petitioners.
The body is not on us to prove the petitioner's case for them. That is the last at today. Now, under cross-examination, the expert said he never saw any server belonging to INEC. He said what he downloaded was not from INEC. Are we going to prove that for them?
What INEC did is simply to save itself from global and national embarrassment, because it would have been very difficult for them to defend what we have presented. So they decided to chicken out.
The three respondents, INEC, President Buhari, and the APC, were given 6 days each to present their case before the tribunal. But INEC has now taken only 1 out of the 6 days allotted to it. Now, with INEC closing their case, the second respondent in this petition, President Muhammadu Buhari, will now have the opportunity of opening their case on Tuesday, the 30th of July. From the Presidential Election Petition Tribunal, Femi Okewu, NTA News.
You're watching the Network News broadcast from Abuja. We have more news ahead. Join us again.
Data is oxygen. Glow Daily Data Splash. 1 gigabytes for 300 naira. 2 gigabytes for 500 naira. Your #1 4G network nationwide.
Ronaldo na the highest. Ronaldo na the highest champion. If you check with, if you look at it like this.
Mini-me, taste the fun.
Does Pick now have Pick 456?
Yes, Mom. It's for Bella.
Why does she have her own milk?
Mama, she's still growing, especially her brain. She needs the right nutrients to help her grow strong and smart.
90% of brain development happens in the first 5 years of life. Like plants need certain nutrients to grow, kids need the right nutrients to grow up strong and smart. Peak 456 with DHA is specially formulated for children 4 to 6 years old to support brain development. Get them ready for what's ahead with Peak 456 with DHA to help them grow up strong and smart.
Now available in new pack and 16-gram sachet.
Introducing new Always Cotton Soft. Its unique top sheet is as soft as cotton and gentle to your skin, offering you comfortable protection as you go about your day. New Always Cotton Soft, available in long and extra long for 250 naira only.
We want to buy Indomie noodles. 4 packs, please.
Yo.
This is not my Indomie. Please, sir, if it's not Indomie, don't call it Indomie.
Sir, the taste is the difference. The difference is in the taste. That's why my brothers, my mommy, my daddy, and I all enjoy our delicious, so very delicious Indomie noodles. The difference is the taste.
Taste is the difference. Yes. Difference is in the taste. Nothing tastes like my Indomie.
Indomie Super Pack, now available at 85 naira. Indomie noodles, tasty nutrition, good for.
Can your milk do this?
Can your milk do this? Mine can.
With Hollandia evaporated milk, your ice cream, custards, and variations of beverages taste pleasantly different. Hollandia evaporated milk. Life tastes different.
Hollandia. These days, people get their news and information from more media sources than ever before. some of the news and information given are fake, unverified, doctored, and manufactured to create confusion, stir disaffection, and cause disunity. Before you believe or share any news, ask yourself, is this real? Is it from a credible source? Is it verified or verifiable? Fake news is dangerous. Whether you do it for fun or for political gains, real people can get hurt. Fake news, don't create it, don't spread it.
This is a public service announcement from NTA.
Thank you for remaining with the NTA. At the resumption of ministerial screening by the Senate this Monday, the immediate past Minister of Power, Works and Housing, Babatunde Fashola, raised issues of intercommunal clashes and lack of funds as major challenges to infrastructural development in Nigeria, especially road construction. National Assembly correspondent Ignatius Nko tells us more.
Day 4 of the screening of ministerial nominees by the Senate, immediate past Minister of Power, Works and Housing, Babatunde Fashola, was the first nominee to be questioned. For more than 2 hours, senators engaged him in different areas, prominent among which was how to improve on road and electricity projects across the country.
We focus essentially on completing what we inherited, and this led us, for example, to recovering 720 containers belonging to the Federal Republic of Nigeria containing transmission equipment that had been left at the Nigerian port for almost a decade.
Have more products locally. It will not be attractive to go and import any longer. You will see at that point, subsidy will disappear gradually by itself without government pronouncing it.
I want to commend you for the education you've given to us. We respect to the interlink between the subsidy regime and our refineries.
The nominees presented their past contributions to nation building, described their nomination as a call for another selfless national duty.
We have now developed a very good relationship with development partners, UNICEF, the World Bank, African Development Bank, and so on. And we hope that this will continue into the future.
On the economic diplomacy side, we came up with a mechanism called the Nigerian Economic Diplomacy Initiative.
With sports and youth development, we're working on anti-doping in sport.
Mariam Katagum, Bauchi, Godi Jedi Aba, Cross River, Geoffrey Onyama, Enugu, Suleiman Adamu, Jigawa, Muhammad Mahmoud, Kaduna, Bemisola Saraki, Kwara, Babatunde Fashola, Lagos, Clement Abba, Edo, and Rauf Arebe Shola from Osun State were the nominees screened.
And let me assure you that we are not only sensitive in the chamber here, that when you become ministers, we'll give you all the support that you require to ensure that you perform optimally.
A total of 14 nominees have so far been screened. From the National Assembly, Ignatius Nko, NTA News.
Federal government and the World Bank are to execute a project that will enhance crop production output and processing for local and international markets. The $200 million project will be executed in 6 states, targeting 60,000 beneficiaries. Musa Baba Aliu has details.
Nigeria is among the countries with highest cases of post-harvest losses, exceeding more than $100 billion annually. This is based on the record of the World Bank Food Production Assessment Report, which also indicated that 50% of farmers' output waste every harvesting season. And this is what the federal government and the World Bank project intends to address.
We have so many interventions where we'll address commodity entry growth of farmers, SMEs, small and medium-scale enterprises. We have a good intervention that will consume about $72 million of the project. That is to empower women and youth in agribusiness.
The project, known as Agro-Processing, Productivity Enhancement and Livelihood Implementation Support, will be implemented in Enugu, Cross River, Kaduna, Kano, Kogi, and Lagos states. Each of the 6 states will focus on specific crop covering cassava, rice and wheat, maize, ginger, poultry, and aquaculture.
So we're looking at how do we enhance agriculture in Lagos State by improving the productivity of our farmers.
following the sensitization, a lot of farmers, as we're speaking, over 10,000 farmers in Kogi State have approached our office, and hopefully they will get supported. Yeah.
Communication helps
the federal and state government officials that will execute the project in various states are currently undergoing training in Lagos State. Musa Baba Aliyu, NTA News.
1,500 civil servants are to benefit from the pilot phase of the structured mandatory assessment-based training program known as SMART P. Adebola Brooksland Sunday reports that the program is intended to build their capacity for official communication, security management, and public finance management.
It makes a civil servant to go a long way in your career too, so you're able to comport yourself, at least maybe by punctuality in the office and some other things, attending to your duties and discharge it as when due.
This one is a wider training that will be able to touch all areas of one's career.
Shembote Charles and Nkechi Orakwe are among the 1,500 civil servants to benefit from the structured mandatory assessment-based program structured towards delivering quality service to the public. Led by the head of the Civil Service of the Federation, Winifred Oyoita, permanent secretaries in all ministries, departments and agencies charged the trainees on the need to be good ambassadors of their establishments and most especially networking among themselves.
It's the office of the head of Civil Service of the Federation that is carrying all the burden of the expenditure of this training.
The assessment just does not end here. When a participant goes back to work, he or she is meant to apply what he has learned to his schedule of duties. We will definitely have to involve a feedback mechanism.
The training, which will last for 3 weeks, include basic, intermediate and advanced modules.
The redesigned models are expected to be used to train all civil servants in a standardized and sustainable manner.
There was also a short induction ceremony for new civil servants. Adebola Brooksland Sunday, NTA News.
First Lady of Nigeria, Aisha Muhammadu Buhari, has emphasized the need for Nigerians in the diaspora to remain steadfast in utilizing their wealth of experience to promote grassroots policies and initiatives. The First Lady stated this in London in appreciation of an award of excellence and agent of change conferred on her by African Ambassadors Interactive Forum, AAIF. The First Lady assured the forum of her readiness to maintain the spirit of the good work she has been doing, particularly the promotion of gender-based and women economic initiatives. While presenting the award on behalf of the forum, Richmond McGray explained that the award is in recognition of the First Lady's commitment in championing the cause of women, children, and other less privileged persons in Nigeria, particularly in the areas of health, education, women, and youth empowerment, through the Future Assured Program and the Aisha Buhari Foundation. The program of the African Ambassadors and the Diaspora Initiative Forum is 7th in its series, aimed at recognizing and appreciating Africans from across the globe for their contributions towards the development of the continent. The forum draws its membership from across the continent. President Muhammadu Buhari has felicitated with the veteran journalist and columnist Eric Teniola on his 70th birthday. In a statement by the Special Advisor to the President on Media and Publicity, Femi Adesina, President Buhari joins family, friends, and professional colleagues of the renowned writer in celebrating many years of service to the nation and humanity. He commended his commitment to democracy and good governance. The President praised the Almighty God to grant Teniola longer life, good health, and more wisdom to keep pointing the nation forward. Plateau State Governor Simon Bagwalalan has approved the appointment of Makut Simon Macham as Director, Press and Public Affairs. A statement by the Acting Secretary to the Government of the Secretary to the State Government in Plateau State, Richard Tokma, says the appointment is with immediate effect. Until his appointment, Makut Simon Macham was managing news and current affairs at the Nigerian Television Authority News 24, Abuja, and was at various times NTA's correspondent at the State House, Federal Capital Territory, and Foreign Affairs. A graduate of mass communication, University of Maiduguri, Makut Sanumacham holds master's degree and PhD in media arts from the University of Abuja. This is the network news. Let's join Michael in Lagos for more news. Hello, Michael.
Hello, Kudu, and welcome to Lagos. The Permanent Secretary, Federal Ministry of Transportation, El-Zakzaky, has reinstated the commitment of the federal government to the commencement of commercial activities on the Lagos-Ibadan railway line in the shortest possible time. He stated this after inspection tour of the project from Lagos. El-Zakzaky has details.
The inspection tour of the Lagos-Ibadan rail project by the Permanent Secretary is to see the extent to which the project has progressed. The team, which at every point took time to ask questions from the contractors handling the project, also visited the workshop at Papalanto, where some of the materials are made.
Please check out, and then this is the second thing that we expect to know a report. This one and the other issue of that electric.
He said, with the level of progress made so far, the date of commencement of commercial trip will not be exceeded, as passengers will soon begin to travel from Agege to Ibadan.
I believe the work being done as assessed by our consultants and our engineers is what is supposed to be done. So I am satisfied with what is.
The chairman, board of directors of the Nigerian Railway Corporation and managing director said so far what is left is the completion of the station buildings that is not expected to take too much time.
It's because we want to make sure that progress be made. If we leave it to them, probably they will do it at their own pace. So that's why we have to follow up.
Has to be done there, but over here, just the station building and probably signaling finishing that we are doing here.
The 156-kilometer Lagos-Ibadan standard gauge rail project with 10 train stations has already had the 2 rail tracks terminating at Ibadan. In Lagos, El-Zakzaky, NTA News.
Mujahid Shuaibu from Borno State is the latest winner of a brand new car in the ongoing Dangote Cement Bag of Goodies promo. Annie Daniels, who witnessed the prize presentation in Lagos, reports that another consumer smiled home with another enviable prize.
The Dangote Cement Bag of Goodies promo has been on since July 1st, 2019, with several winners emerging from across the country. The initiative Group Executive Director, Dangote Industries Limited, Halima Aliko Dangote, says is in line with the company's core mandate to appreciate consumers who are the pillars of the company's success story.
Most of the ones winning the gift, which brings joy to me, is people that don't even own anything. So somebody won a car today, last week somebody, every week there's a winner, 1 or 2 winners of cars.
Up for grabs are amazing prizes, including 43 brand new cars, 24 tricycles, 550 refrigerators, 400 television sets, 300,000 Dangote Foods goodies pack, 24 motorcycles, and recharge cards for all networks worth 200 million naira.
Scratch cards are in the bags, so it is left for consumers to go and pick up the bag, open the bag, pick up the scratch card, scratch gently to reveal the gift.
Regardless of where you are in the world, there are very few places where you see things like this.
The star winner, 23-year-old Mujahid Shuaibu, and another consumer could not appreciate Dangote Industries enough for scaling up their status.
I feel good. I thank Dangote. Now only Dangote can do that.
I saw TV and I won it.
The promo continues till September 30th, 2019. In Lagos, Annie Daniels, NTA News.
The adoption of unified exchange rate will serve as a catalyst in the promotion of regional trade and economic growth. This was the submission of economic players at a business forum tagged Policy Change, the Enabler of Sustainable Growth. Abolade Salami reports.
Huge intra-Africa trade business opportunities that Nigeria and other African countries ratified was the crux of discourse at this gathering. Discussants submitted that the agreement will develop regional value chain and facilitate cross-border investments, as well as create avenues for more foreign direct investments in order to increase economic fortunes of Africa.
will be absolutely critical, but there are huge benefits for Nigeria from the AFCFTA, including, as you heard this morning, transforming some of our major historic trade corridors that have been there for well over 100 years.
Exchange rate volatility, its uncertainty and misalignment as impediments to regional trade and economic growth. Panelists in the various submissions highlighted the fact that unified exchange rate remains most efficient form as it increases economic equilibrium and sustainable growth.
Countries with unified exchange rates have higher trade share and higher imports, so there's higher trading. Those are the countries that usually try to facilitate trade.
A unified exchange rate as an efficient form of pricing the exchange rate would de-emphasize smuggling, to discourage smuggling, and encourage production and create jobs.
Vice President Professor Yemi Oshibajo, represented by Senior Special Assistant on Trade and Investment, Jumoke Uduwole, re-echoed the federal government's commitment to sustaining a viable environment for businesses to thrive.
Even at an informal level, Nigerian businesses are already dominating trade across the continent to a large extent.
The African Continental Free Trade Area, they expressed optimism, will help discourage smuggling and encourage production. In Lagos, Abolade Salami, NTA News.
This is NTA Network News. More reports after this commercial break. Please stay tuned.
Now me I come ask and say, why all of us go pay 100,000 naira? Second, say your husband, he want do 70th birthday. She now all of us marry them together. When her mama die, she collects money. Her papa die, she collects money. Her mama die, she collects. You remember when she talked, say she wanted her mama dead body. Mama, you too talk. Now you be glad when they dash me credit anyhow. Imagine, 40-year-old dead body. Why you they laugh now? Now try to bring your money. Mama, no laugh. Not be you, Jare. Now some apropos customer there when they know they mind their own business. Whoa. I never even begin to give you her gist.
Glow and Maple. Get 5 times your recharge to call all networks. Recharge with *555*PIN#.
Make I sell my market finish first, eh? I will call you back. Oh.
Glow Unlimited.
I want to change my car to a better one, and I know one make them dupe me. I hear say company day, wait fit help me, so I no need worry. So I go to Cars 45, them don't help me. Now I'm happy. Everybody see any deal where you want with your car. Buy, sell, swap. Take it to Cars 45. Buy, sell, swap. Better value in good time. Buy, sell, swap. All now it's Cars 45. Buy, sell, swap.
Cars45.com. Buy, sell, swap.
Yeah, Mom, you are extraordinary. You always go the extra mile to make sure my breakfast is made with extra nutritious Milo. I want to say a big thank you. You are extra precious and extra super.
Milo is thanking moms for being extraordinary by giving the family an extra 50 grams of delicious Milo for every 500-gram pouch bought. Don't miss out. Offer valid while stocks last. Milo.
Migration is not a crime, neither is displacement. Such persons left their homes for different reasons. The National Commission for Refugees, Migrant and Internally Displaced Persons, through its Livelihood Support Program, is empowering persons of concern with various income-generating skills and resources to start up economic activities. Through settlement projects, the Commission is supporting them with tools to rebuild their homes and lives. The future belongs to those who invest in themselves.
I therefore appeal to all persons of concern, that is the asylum seekers, refugees, the returning migrants, and internally displaced persons, not to lose hope, as together we can find durable solutions for a better and more secured future.
This message is from the National Commission for Refugees, Migrant and Internally Displaced Persons.
Back in Abuja, Nigerian stock market records gains in Monday's session. Muplang Dakok is here with me in the studio with details of these and more on business news. By the way, Muplang, I understand you have also the housing story?
Yes, the story is an advice to middle-income earners to take advantage of the various housing schemes of government to own homes for themselves. But we'll begin with a different story. As developing countries continue to struggle with the limited capacity to create jobs, the Director General, National Directorate of Employment, Nasiru Mohamed Ladan, says government only needs to create enabling environment, while the private sector and entrepreneurs will provide the much required employment. He says being an entrepreneur is a reliable tool for closing the employment or the unemployment gap, which is why government is training young people to be self-reliant.
In less than 2.5 years, we have trained and resettled 981,242. So you can see the difference. What we are thinking of is not just to create jobs within. We are trying to learn from Pakistan, Bangladesh, India, and Philippines, whereby we can export labor to earn hard currency for this country.
Nigeria's housing deficit is estimated at 17 million, despite public and private efforts at combating the deficit. Investment broker Johnson Semodina Anene thinks average income earners can still utilize available opportunities, especially through government programs, to own homes.
For you to fund your own construction of your own building, assuming you have your own land. And all these are going to be given at single-digit interest rates.
And it was a positive mood Monday on the Nigerian equities market as it opened trading for the week with the market indicators in green. The market capitalization appreciated 0.11% to close at 27,950.36 basis points. Investors traded 93 million shares worth 1.1 billion naira in 3,056 deals. A breakdown of price movement shows that Nestle, Dangote Flour, and CI Leasing recorded the highest gain, while Zenith Bank, Transcorp, and Lasaco were the toast of investors as they traded well over 7 million shares each. That's business news. Kudu, it's over to you.
Thank you, Moplang. Since Nigeria's signing of the African Continental Free Trade Area Agreement, key players in the business environment has been brainstorming on ways to maximize the gains of the agreement at different fora. Chimaobi Walter Onaji was at the Development Bank of Nigeria's inaugural lecture series, where sustainable financing for micro, small and medium enterprises in Nigeria was discussed.
According to recent data released by the National Bureau of Statistics, there are about 41 million MSMEs in Nigeria, which contributes over 50% to Nigeria's GDP. However, with the statistics growing astronomically, there is the challenge of access to finance for these groups of businesses. This necessitated the establishment of the Development Bank of Nigeria in 2007 to bridge the gap in this sector. This year's inaugural lecture offers industry key players an opportunity for a think tank on how the Development Bank of Nigeria can further expand its over 70 billion naira intervention for granting financial access to those at the low pyramid, especially with the projected expansion of trades and investments being championed by the Free Trade Agreement.
Economic growth is not the same thing as economic transformation. Economic growth, you expand the cake. Economic transformation, you move an economy from operating at the lower end of the global value chains or up the ladder. Because that's where jobs are created.
The future path of growth must involve the translation of growth, investment, and human skills to boost, amongst other things, local value addition.
The theme of this maiden edition of the DBN Annual Lecture Series is Surviving to Thriving MSMEs as a key to unlocking inclusive growth in Africa. We believe that this is apt and timely.
With the federal government's continuous investment in the development of critical infrastructure, experts at the forum expressed optimism that Nigeria can revamp its economy through meaningful investments in the MSME sector. In Abuja, Chimobi Walter Naji, NT News.
The Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation, NNPC, has assured Nigerians of steady supply of petroleum products, as well as prompt remittance of proceeds from its operation to the Federation account. Chief Financial Officer of the NNPC, Umar Ajia, disclosed this at a strategic session with the heads of account departments of the corporation's subsidiaries in Abuja.
The fact that we have to pay what is attributable to the Federation by way of FAC remittances as and when due.
Mr. Ajia listed 8 key areas where the Accounts Directorate can help in actualizing the management's agenda of liquidity management, financing for growth, business process improvement, budgetary controls, payment system, capacity building, and several others. In another development, the NNPC has promised to work closely with any AGIP to speedily resolve all pending issues that led to the suspension of cash call repayment. Group Managing Director of the NNPC, Mele Kolokari, made a commitment when he received a delegation from any AGIP led by the Executive Vice Chairman, Sub-Saharan African Region, and Chairman, any Exploration and Production in Nigeria, Mr. Brusco Guedo.
All your money is safe. We have all the cash, the settlement agreement that were in place will stick to it, and nothing will change it. So whatever you have seen, either in form of the MC arrangements or the settlement agreement that is working with the Federation, which NAPIS will operating, will completely be transferred to NPDC, and it will just be a name substitution.
We read your 3 strategic guidelines on the future objectives, which are growth of production, increase reserves, and lower the cost structure, which we share, we support, and you will always have NAUC JV at your side to support that.
Issues of some expired assets, the Group Managing Director of the NNPC explained that there was no immediate plan to renew the licenses of the federal government, since the federal government itself is having the exploration arm of the corporation operate them. You are watching the Network News. Let's join our Maiduguri Network Center for more on Network News with Naomi.
Thank you, Kudu, and welcome to Maiduguri. More than 150,000 households will benefit from the Alamberi waterworks completed by the International Committee of the Red Cross in Maiduguri. This was made known during inauguration of the water project by Governor Babagana Umar Zulu. Jedwa John Jessini reports.
The project was conceived by Borno State government over a decade but later abandoned, with the ICRC taking over and completing the source of water supply for IDPs and host communities to benefit. Inaugurating the project, Borno State Governor Professor Babagana Umar lauded ICRC for making water of the people of Borno a priority, advising the community to make best use of the facility and ensure its durability. The governor warned against vandalization of facilities put in place, adding that L1 court will be dealt with decisively. Head of ICRC delegation Eloy Filion said the growing population within the metropolis necessitated the completion of the Alamberi water project, which started since 2016. This, he added, is also a move to key into the resettlement and rehabilitation drive of the Borno State government through providing up to 50,000 residents with potable water. More works, he said, will continue to reach full capacity so as to attain provision of up to 9 million litres per day, capable of serving up to 150,000 households. District head of Alamberi thanked ICRC and the Borno State Ministry of Water Resources for the gesture, assuring to ensure its maintenance. In the meantime, Governor Babagana Umar had also inspected the ongoing road clearing exercise along the Maiduguri-Damboa axis. In Maiduguri, Jadwa John Jason, NTA News.
The World Bank has identified a set of initiatives that will have a quick and tangible impact on the population of the Northeast in 4 priority areas of health, education, agriculture, and social protection. This was what necessitated the meeting between World Bank and Borno State government to review progress and challenges in the implementation process. Muhammad Goni reports.
Towards achieving this, the World Bank expended billions of dollars to realize the objectives of all the programs, including the $100 million to the Youth Employment and Social Support Operation to provide youth, women and unemployed IDPs, returnees and persons with disabilities with labor-intensive work and skill development opportunities. It also includes conditional cash transfer to be provided to displaced families and individuals. Others are National Health Investment Project focused on immediately re-establishing health facilities with a focus on maternal, newborn and child health, as well as $100 million to the state education programs. In the agricultural sector, the third Fadama Development Program will address the emergency needs of farmers by improving access to irrigation and drainage services with a special focus on women and youth.
The whole idea is to cross-fertilize our ideas to see into the implementation of the projects. We have millions of naira that are yet to be utilized.
We talked also about the linkage between the humanitarian and development as well as with security. So in strengthening the security in the state is very critical for humanitarian and development actors to play their role and deliver results on the ground.
The stakeholders resolved to meet regularly to review performance of all the components of the World Bank interventions. In Maiduguri, Mahmoud Skoni, NTA News.
That is it from Maiduguri. Is back to Kudu in Abuja.
Thank you, Naomi. The National Youth Service Corps has described as fake a trending article on the social media alleging torture of a Corps member serving in Kauran Namuda, Zamfara State. A statement by the NYSC management urges members of the public to ignore the misleading video, which it says was manufactured by mischief makers. The NYSC restates that the welfare of Corps members is paramount to the scheme as it monitors their activities and encourages them to cultivate their good relationship with host communities. This is the Network News broadcast from Abuja. We have sports update and more coming up after the break. Join us then.
They are there at the crack of dawn. They are there busy preparing while we rise for our day. They are there silently, guarding, waiting, listening, and watching. They are there ready in the sky above and the waters below, in the blistering heat of the day, in the dead of night, willing, indefatigable, determined in the defense of the sovereignty of our country. They are our first line of defense and our last. They who have paid the ultimate price in defending us. They are fathers and uncles. They are mothers and sisters and girlfriends and boyfriends. They are brothers and cousins and best friends and neighbors. They are classmates, colleagues, and citizens of this nation. They are our defenders and deserve our respect, our prayers, our thoughts. Nigeria, please support our armed forces.
In our sports update tonight, two siblings, Malcolm and Ndidi Osaji, qualified to represent Nigeria at the Ball World Tennis Championship in Croatia. Olumide Guntola has details.